Yeah, it's exciting to learn a new defense. I mean, it takes time to get all the ins and outs of it kind of mastered, and the all the different techniques we have for it mastered. So yeah, it'll take time, and that's what fall camp's for, is kind of making sure you're honing in on your skills on it. So yeah, we're excited for it.
Maybe I might put you on the spot a little bit here, but the season was, starting in a week, tomorrow, whatever. I mean, how well prepared do you feel that you are? Like, is it really a case of you need to get a lot done, or do you think you've got the basics?
Oh, I mean, you got the basics down. Like spring ball happened, and like you could go out and technically play a game right now and be pretty happy with the knowledge of the defense. But um, like there's still a lot of work to go. There's a reason fall camp is what it is. Like there's a lot of work to be done to get a elite kind of understanding of the defense. So yeah, I mean, you know the basics of it, but you don't have there's still a lot of work left to be done.
Yeah. And you guys have been working in all those different linebacker roles, right? So,
Hmm.
I mean, is there a case of you feel comfortable in all three, or do you think that most guys kind of understand those a lot, maybe a little better?
Yeah, I mean, there's the jack is a lot different. Like I won't play jack, but to understand it, you still have to understand where they're lining up, where they're doing those things. But yeah, just my body type doesn't. It's not a outside linebacker body type. So, but you still understand what their job is, what their role is, what they're doing, where they're aligning. So on that aspect, you understand each three position, but you don't necessarily play all three positions.
Bruce, what do you think of new guys like MJ Sherman, Borders, how they kind of settled into the
Hmm.
linebacker room? And you haven't really gotten to play alongside them yet,
Yeah.
really, but what have you kind of made of their additions?
No, those two guys are great. They bring a lot of energy and a lot of juice to the room, and they're physically very well put together. Like they're pretty physically gifted dudes. So yeah, we love those two guys. Like, and we've got a lot of different young guys too that are coming up. So yeah, we're excited for it. We love the room that we got right now. So yeah.
And what has Coach Dvorak kind of brought to that room?
Just kind of he's yeah, he's a great coach. I love Coach Dvorak. He brings together kind of what Coach Rule has been preaching of that brotherhood, that unity, that togetherness. Like that's I think that's one of the biggest things he brings to it is hey, like we're in this together. Like let's find a way to win, not just my way. Like let's figure out the best way to do this. So yeah, he's awesome. He just brings a sense of a brotherhood to the linebacker room.
And Luke, I want to ask you about fan base. And news guys do fan base sort of. For you
Hmm.
guys, so many new guys in the program, do you have to tell them like what it's all about, what kind of big deal it is, or how it's and what is it like for you as a player?
I mean, yeah, the I can honestly say we have the best fans in the nation. Like the sellout streak speaks for itself. It's been there since the '60s. Um, so just a little bit of giving back to those fans. Signing autographs, taking pictures, meeting people, just all that stuff. Like it means a lot to Nebraska because like it's our following is unreal. It's unrivaled. So yeah, it's just it's fun giving back. It's uh, giving back to the community through fan day, through different events, through charity stuff, visiting different hospitals, and just stuff like that. So it's all part of the process of being a college athlete and then a Nebraska athlete as well, because of the spotlight we have being a Nebraska athlete.
What's it been like to go up against Jeff in practice? I mean, is he a pretty tough guy to kind of figure out what he's doing? Or
Yeah, no, Jeff's an extremely talented individual. I think he's going to have a very successful year. But what I'm more impressed with, obviously, is physical tools. But like his ability to get a locker room behind him is something I've taken note of. Like he's been here for 6 months and he's one of the three guys to represent the team. Like that doesn't happen just overnight. Like that's that's an impressive feat for him because that just kind of speaks to who he is as a person, as a leader, of just people kind of gather around him, and I think that's vital for the quarterback position.
And you came to walk on Nebraska. Did you ever in a million years imagine yourself in this role on the stage, over the years?
No, I did not. So if you would have told me before my freshman camp, walking on, like just happy to make it to camp, that I'd be doing media days my senior year before camp I would have called you a liar. Like there's just no way. So yeah, it's just a kind of surreal moment. Happy, just kind of living in the moment that this brings.
All easy questions for you right here. Academic All-American. What do academics mean to you? Obviously, playing football on the field is important, but obviously we excel in the classroom.
Yeah, I mean it's a huge emphasis of Nebraska of not only playing football at a very historically significant football program, but leaving Nebraska with a degree, with connections that you're going to use for the rest of your life. Yeah, I was talking to our AD Trev Albers last night just about like what that means to be a Nebraska like player and a graduate. Like you use that as leverage for the rest of your life. Like it just sets you up kind of for the rest of your life. Not so yeah, it's a great opportunity, and it means a lot to not only play football but to leave here with a degree and leave here with an education.
Last question, playing close to home. How cool is that? Playing close to home, have family and friends watching.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, that's part of the reason why I chose Nebraska is just family. Family was around. Family was close. They were able to get to games. So yeah, it was. I mean, family is a huge part, and yeah, so I love being able to see family at basically every single game I play.
Ask you about back to what Sean was asking you about just sort of your experience. I know you have a unique family story. How
Hmm.
have you done that in the last 4 to 5 years since you've been president?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be where I'm at without them. I owe a lot to them. They're like I'm super close with my family, so they mean the world to me. But yeah, I wouldn't be where I'm at today without their guidance, their help, their love, their support. So yeah, they mean the world to me, and just seeing them in the stands and before and after games and stuff, it's special and something I'll look back and look back fondly of for the rest of my life.
Just one big smile.
Yep.
You're in your fifth year. I'm sure you'll really want to
Yeah.
and to go to a bowl game and do some of the things that other teams in the Big Ten have done. So you're really hungry to do that, and yet you got to be a coach. How do you balance being a coach but also having the motivation for doing some of the things that you have to right away under?
Yeah, that was a little bit of a challenge that I had too. Understanding like I know where I'm at as a player, as a person. Like this is my fifth year in college. I know how to have a routine. I know how to have habits that are successful. But they're starting from day one as they're teaching these freshmen. They're teaching all these younger kids that might not have that the same past 4 years experiences that I've had, where they're starting from square one, where I didn't necessarily have to start from square one, if that makes sense. So there's a little bit of a learning curve with that, but I think they've done a great job of not only like meeting those freshmen, those underclassmen needs, but also meeting the older guys' needs as well. Where hey, we need something more than just what to do on a day-to-day basis. Like we kind of got that covered. We know how to work in the weight room. We know how to.
What have they talked to you about? What have they tried to communicate to some of the older guys?
Just how to step up in leadership roles and leadership positions. Like, hey, you got it figured out, but what about your linebacker buddy? What about your defensive line buddy? Like, so just bringing other guys along is kind of their biggest kind of a reason to help along the older guys. Like, all right, you got this figured out, so let's move on to the next thing. Let's help you become a better leader, and that's something that Coach Rule and Coach Dvorak and Coach White have all helped me a lot through.
What's the most important
Details and structure. I mean, he runs a very tight ship. He gets it done like his way. I love how tight the ship is run. So yeah, that's probably one thing I've noticed is just attention to the details. Everything from what side the weights are up in the weight room to if you bring a pin to the meeting. So it's everything in between there too. So. Mm-hmm.
What have you seen that you may have just came from the way that Coach Rule carries himself with this program and it really sets you guys as players and
Yeah, like I said, I was talking with Trev and Coach Rule last night. Like, their tidbit of advice was the best way to be a leader is just being yourself. Like, you don't, once you get into a leadership position, you don't change who you are. Like, you got there for a reason, so just be yourself and just be genuine, be real. And I think that's what they've been preaching since they've got here, since Rules got here, is just be yourself. Just you don't need to change. You don't need to be, do anything different. Obviously, get out of your comfort zone and do things that are uncomfortable. But you don't need to, oh, now I'm in a leadership position, I'm going to change all these things about me. Just be yourself and be genuine and be real and just work your tail off and let the results fall where they fall. Yeah. Yeah, and I was talking with Jeff and Pipe about it. I was just like, it's a cool experience to be able to sit down with the AD and the head coach of a football team and just learn what how they got there, kind of what their mindset is. Like, it's just a different experience that you don't normally have in just regular team meetings or watching press conferences with Trev. Like, you get to kind of pick their brain. Like, they're very successful people. Like, you just kind of grab little nuggets of knowledge from them. And I was telling Pipe and Jeff that it's cool. Like, let's pick their brain a little bit of how they got here and what it takes to be a successful person and leader in just life. Yeah. I think he's a great spokesman for the state, for the university, for the program. Like, he's out there just at all the different western Nebraska towns, just chopping it up with everybody, just building those relationships where they can get the support from the program from all these different areas. Like, it's not just Lincoln and Omaha. Like, there's a whole rest of the state that they're a lot of the support and a lot of the money, a lot of the just the fans and just in general Nebraska is from. Like, there's a lot outside of Lincoln and Omaha that the state has to offer. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How to do things every single day, but Rule's detailed approach was probably a little bit of a shock to some people. How did you see maybe they react early on when you put in all of this detailed culture?
Yeah, I mean, there were some guys that it just didn't sit well with, or that it took them a little time to get comfortable with it. But I mean, I think that was part of the goal from Rule, is all right, if you're either with us or you're not with us. So it's almost a weeding out process of this is how we're going to do it here. All respect to the previous staffs and previous coaches, but they're not here anymore. I'm the head coach now. This is how I'm going to run it. So yeah, it was a little bit of a weeding out process for as harsh as that sounds, but yeah. That's kind of what it was, and who's here is who's here, and that's what we're going to roll with.
Was there a pamphlet, or was it written down, or did you just have to kind of know it based on how people act around you?
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely instruction of this is what we're doing, this is how we're going to do it. You're going to come prepared each meeting to write things down, to do all these certain things. So yeah, we were never not in the know of what to expect. There was always this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, so you better get with the program.
What's the summer been like in the strength of Coach Campbell? Is there anything specific that he's been emphasizing with you guys? How's that process going on?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of work, but yeah, that's just like everything else in the program, it's so detailed orientated, where you better do the right thing, you better say the right rep, you better count the right number of reps and the right exercise, or else we're going to start over again. So everybody's just on the same page, everybody's bringing the energy, bringing the juice to lifts, and you're not just going to show up and just kind of do the work and get out. You're gonna do the work and do it at a high level, and then show up for more after the end of the workout to get extra work in. So, it's a whole process, and it starts from Coach Rule to the position coaches to the strength coaches to it's everyone. So yeah.
Random question for you, but I know that your bio got updated on Huskers.com finally from Lincoln, Nebraska, to
Yeah.
hometown to Ashland, Kansas. How has that been kind of a unique story for you, having to explain, like, yeah, I had that familiarity with Lincoln, but I do have this, hometown connection to Ashland too, and having it be important for you to have that represented?
Yeah. So when people are just like, yeah, you're a homegrown Husker, like they just saw that I graduated from North Star, and I did, like, love my time there, but that's not necessarily home. And I've just kind of gone along at Nebraska, just been like, yeah, where did you graduate? North Star, and then kind of just left it at that. But it is cool to be honored to be able to like talk about my hometown. Like not a lot of people know about Ashland, Kansas, and that's just where I grew up. That's kind of where my heart is. Like that's the people down there just mean so much to me. But yeah, that's just my home, and I like to pay tribute and honor to the people that had a part in raising me and helping me get to where I'm at today.
Do you feel like you get to be kind of a 50-50 of, like, half homegrown Husker, half
Yeah. I'll take it. I'll take it when it benefits me on both sides. So yeah, it's fun. It's yeah, but yeah, love both states. They're obviously pretty similar in how they act, how they treat people, and just what they stand for. So yeah.
What are some of the bigger differences with the summer program practice in the summer, workouts, everything in Nebraska? What are some of the big differences?
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to kind of do the same things. Like you have a specific amount of time to work at the stadium, and they just choose to kind of do it in different things, but different ways. But yeah, I mean, every college team's kind of similar in the fact that you're going to lift, you're going to run, you're going to do these 7-on-7, you're going to do these OTAs. Like everybody's pretty similar in the fact, like you're all doing the same thing. It's how you attack those details in those things. Like everybody's waking up at 7 o'clock to go work out in the summer, to go run in the afternoon in the heat, and then to go run 7-on-7 later that day. It's just how you attack those details in those workouts, in the runs, in the 7-on-7. So yeah, it's about how you attack the details, and not necessarily we're doing 7-on-7 and no one else in the country is doing that. Every single team in the country is doing that. So it's just how you attack the details in them.
Luke, how would you describe your quarterback, Jeff Sims, compared to other quarterbacks that you've seen, whether they're on the Huskers or on the Nebraska team?
Yeah, one of the most physically gifted players I've seen. Like just looking at the dude, he's 6'4", 225, 230. Like he's just a built-up dude with like unreal arm talent. So just watching him throw the ball, like the zip he has on the ball, just casually throwing 40-yard balls just on the dime, like that, you don't see that every day. So yeah, it's been cool to watch. But yeah, we're excited to see him kind of lead our offense and lead our team into the season. So yeah, he's going to be a great addition to Nebraska.
How does your role change from getting into this 3-3-5 defense? Is it too much different than what you were doing before?
Not necessarily. I mean, linebacker's job is to get the front lined up, to make the call, to be on the same page with the secondary with coverage. So it's very similar in being able to be on the same page with the front and the back end of the defense. So from that aspect, it's not too terribly different from what I was used to.
Coach Rule today talked about getting the respect back. You guys talk about that as a team, as coaching the
Yeah. I mean, we want to be a team where you turn on the film and you're like, holy smokes, like these dudes are different. These dudes are like, they're violent, they're disciplined. Like we want to be able to have teams turn on the film and say that about it, no matter what the score is, no matter what our record is, no matter, if it's cold, if it's hot, if it's windy. We want to be able to have teams turn on the film and just say, like, these dudes play football. Like that, I think that's the biggest compliment you can kind of give somebody in football is, like, these dudes are playing. Like when the film's on, like not the social media interactions, like the engagements, like it's when you turn on the film, like what do you see, like what are you preparing for, what are you playing against. So I think in that aspect, like that's one of the best things a football team can like give is, respect to another opponent, to another team. Say that again. The first game. Yeah, I mean it should happen right away. Like you build those habits, you build those, starting in January through spring ball, through off-season conditioning, to now fall camp, and so you start that attitude and that culture of what you want your team to be known as in January. But now it's just phase 3, basically the start of the season. So yeah, we're excited for it.
How do you balance knowing that, yes, you want it to be visible from day one, but sometimes these things take time? Like, how do you balance the urgency but also meeting patience?
Yeah, I mean that's something that Coach Rule has kind of talked about. Like, yeah, we got to be patient. Like, this is year one. Excuse me. This is year one, but we should also still go out with the attitude of, it, like, we don't care. Like, it's week one. Let's go out and just play as violent as we can and physical as we can. So yeah, there's the patience, but there's also like the urgency of, like, no one's gonna wait on us. So why wait around and just, oh well, now it's year 3. Now it can be a violent team. Let's go be violent year 1. And it's not like we weren't competitive the previous years. Like, we've been in big games, we've been in close games with everybody, so we have the confidence we can play with anybody. So let's just get over that hump and win in those close games. I think that's what Nebraska has struggled so much with recently, is winning those close games, not being competitive, but winning the close games. So let's just win the close games now.
What does that take?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the main theme of the day so far, is talking about the defense. But yeah, it's a progress. It's a process where it takes time. But yeah, it's a defense that opens up a lot of possibilities. A lot of different guys can kind of plug and play and just play freely and play loose and just go make plays. So we're excited for it. Yeah, it brings a lot of different possibilities for us.
Back to what you said about close games, like, it's easier said than done, right? How do you guys get over that?
By doing every single little thing right, being like detailed to the max, like worrying about every little thing. That's I think that's when you get over that hump of you're doing the right thing, you're doing all these little details. I think that's when the ball will start bouncing your way, when you're just doing everything right. And that's not just one position group or 2 position groups, it's everybody is doing the right thing. They're hustling, they're, getting to class, doing the right thing when no one's looking. So
How have you seen Coach Rule implement that? Because he is incredibly detail-oriented.
Yeah. I mean, it starts with class checks, study hall checks, breakfast, lunch, dinner checks. Like we're supposed to be, like, you just need to be where you're supposed to be when you need to be there. And they're checking that, they're marking your name off, they're doing all these things, that if you miss, you have punishment. You have to go run stairs, you have to do all these different pretty crappy punishment things, but that's part of learning how to be detail oriented and doing the little things right.
I know it's kind of a game-by-game mentality, but even Coach acknowledged on the podium that the importance of the game against Colorado for both fan bases. What does that game kind of mean to you?
Yeah, so that's going to be a really cool game. I think it's on big noon kickoff, so national attention. Like, that's going to be a big-time game. But from my point of view, I don't look at that game any differently than I look at Louisiana Tech. Like, I prepare the same way as I do Louisiana Tech, as I do Michigan. So there's no difference in, oh, now we're playing Michigan. Now I really got to prepare. That you're not respecting the game of football if you kind of go at it that way. So for me personally, I view every game the same way, where I'm going to just go in and prepare, watch film, and do all the necessary things the same way, regardless of opponent. But yeah, it's going to be an awesome experience playing at Colorado. Like, that stadium's sweet, and just the history of Colorado and Nebraska will be cool.
And both schools are getting a ton of hype in the offseason,
Yeah.
largely because of the coaches and stuff. But how familiar were you with Coach Sanders and just his career and everything before?
Honestly, not too familiar, but yeah, I know who he is. Obviously, great player. But yeah, they got a good program. They're turning things around there, just like we are here. So it's going to be a great game. Like, they're doing things the right way. So we're excited for it, and yeah, we can't wait for the game. So yeah.
There's a player that you would say could break out for Nebraska this season. Who would it be and why?
Whew, that's a good question. I think there's a lot of guys, obviously, like Jeff. Jeff is just an immediate, but I think everybody kind of expects that. I'm kind of looking at guys that like my roommates, like Blaze Gunnarsson, Nash, Hutmaker, that are guys that they work their tails off. They've done everything right, and they're kind of finally stepping in that role to be playing a lot of snaps and to kind of be that leader of their position group, that guy. So I'm looking forward to seeing kind of those guys. Obviously, I'm closer with them. They're my roommates. But yeah, I'm really excited to see kind of those two boys just kind of let go and just play free and play fast, and see where the results lie for them. So I'm excited for those two.
A couple guys that were asking about Nick, who's going to be right next to him.
Yeah.
Suffering through a couple injuries. What's it going to be to get him back? And John Bullock's had a really good offseason.
Yeah, no, those two guys are awesome. Yeah, so Nick's coming off a knee injury. John had a great offseason, getting on scholarship and everything. So and that would mean the world to me to play again with Nick, playing alongside him. Extremely talented player. Great leader, great dude. So yeah, I'm really excited to look forward to the season with him and just playing alongside him again. And then yeah, John, same thing. He kind of switched positions, kind of had been all over the place defensively. So excited to be able to play with him, and looking forward to playing with those two guys a lot this year. Yeah, I think one of the greatest things you can show is respect in the game of football. Like, that's kind of what it is. Like, what's it all about? So like, when you turn on the tape, what do you see when you watch Nebraska? And I think that's been a huge point of emphasis for this staff. And just what do you want people to recognize you as? You want, like, when they turn on the film, they see just a violent, disciplined football team. I think is the biggest thing, and that generates a lot of respect. So yeah, we're looking forward to that, and just being the team that matches not only what we say but what we put on film.